I've talked a lot of Star Wars here the past couple months, but there is one major topic that I haven't yet discussed. Who is Supreme Leader Snoke? If you've watched any of my previous Star Wars videos, you've probably heard me say a couple times now that I am perfectly alright with none of the new characters introduced in The Force Awakens being related to anybody from previous Star Wars movies. And I'd actually kind of prefer it that way. The introduction and writing of these new characters has already been so fantastic that I don't need any connection to a previous character to deepen their meaning for me at all. They're doing really well at just bringing us new characters and making us care about them. In the cases of Rey, Poe, and Finn though, we know that they're from a generation of children from after the fall of the Galactic Empire. In regards to Supreme Leader Snoke, we know he was there to see it all happen. So now we're left to speculate as to exactly who is Supreme Leader Snoke. The most prevalent theory is that he is Darth Plagueis, who was never actually murdered or somehow manipulated the Force to bring him back to life after his murder by Palpatine, well before we ever saw anything in regards to the Galactic Empire. Other people think he might be Palpatine reincarnated, or Vader reincarnated, or Kylo Ren from the future. There's a lot of theories out there. As has been the case with other new characters who I've theorized about their possible origins, I don't think Snoke is related to any of the above, of characters from the original trilogy or characters that we've heard about from the prequel trilogy. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't still have some kind of personal relationship with somebody major that we do already know. Supreme Leader Snoke was a secret apprentice to Darth Vader. How do I know this, you ask? Well, I don't. This is just a theory, but we're gonna have some fun with it, so hear me out. Throughout both The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, we see Vader very intrigued by the notion of ruling the galaxy together as father and son if he can turn Luke to the dark side, with the idea that the two of them together could overthrow the Emperor to take control of everything. Couple that with a lot of things that we've seen in the Marvel comics lately, which are canon by the way, in which Vader is essentially demoted by the Emperor and feels a lot of resentment toward him, you can see why Vader might look to take on a secret apprentice under the notion that yes, he might one day overthrow the Emperor. You can see a lot of this too in The Force Unleashed, the video game, even though that's no longer canon. I think they still in a lot of ways have borrowed ideas from the expanded universe into the new film already that we saw in The Force Awakens, so it's not entirely out of the question that we could see something similar. Then throw in the fact that Vader has already personally witnessed Palpatine betray a previous apprentice in the form of Count Dooku, not to mention sensing his infatuation with Luke, eventually culminating to Palpatine telling Luke to take your father's place at my side. You can see where along the way Vader might have been like, dude, screw this guy, I'm taking on my own apprentice, and I believe that apprentice may have been Supreme Leader Snoke. Going back to the notion of them borrowing ideas from the expanded universe, that could somewhat explain why Supreme Leader Snoke's First Order made this giant planet-destroying base and named it Starkiller, as somewhat of an homage to The Force Awakens and the apprentice that Darth Vader took on. The bigger picture in regards to this all moving forward with the main story is that Snoke's connection to Darth Vader is a major player in what pulled in Kylo Ren's connection to Snoke. Obviously, Kylo Ren wants to emulate Darth Vader. He looks up to him, he respects him as a family member, and what he wanted to do in ruling the galaxy with the power of the dark side. And given that his uncle Luke, his mother Leia, and his father Han all encountered Darth Vader, but probably don't look back with fondness, given that all he ever did was give them trouble, here he meets Snoke, who learned under Vader, who was a direct student of Vader, and all of a sudden he has that positive connection with who Kylo Ren looks up to, and that is how he came to be in the service of Supreme Leader Snoke. I guess if you want to get all generational with things too, for those of you that think Rey is the granddaughter of Obi-Wan, she would be squaring off eventually with the grandson of Darth Vader, and then we have a couple generations of families that just can't seem to get along, but again, I don't think Rey is Obi-Wan's granddaughter. I have my own theories on that, but for those of you that do believe that, that could be a lot of fun as well. Anyway, that is just my take finally on who I think Supreme Leader Snoke might actually be. Now again, this one's just a theory. I don't have anything to back this up other than a little bit of speculation and gut feeling. So, whatever you thought about it, please feel free to tell me all about it in the comments. You know I like talking some Star Wars. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. That always helps me out. I always appreciate that. And again, if you want more Star Wars videos, be sure to subscribe. And above all else, everybody, thank you for watching. Hey everybody, thanks again for checking out this video. If you have not subscribed yet, be sure to click that subscribe annotation you see at the top there. Also, while you're clicking on annotations, check out the link on the right for my top 5 predicted outcomes for the rest of Kylo Ren's storyline. I think you're gonna like it. Thanks again, everybody.